Fortnite just completely leaked the new season, including the map and all of the weapons, but a lot of people aren't very happy about this. They've revealed the map, and while it looks really cool, there's a whole bunch of POIs I can recognize here, and I'll go through all of them in a little bit. It's really, really small. A lot of people are scared how we're gonna have 100 players, a full Battle Royale lobby on this map. And just to confirm, it's being confirmed by because this is not a reload map. This is not a reload update. This is the Battle Royale map for the new season. We have some super iconic locations you can see. We have Mr. Burns' mansion over on the east side of the map. We also have the Simpsons town square in the middle. But if you count it up, there's really about 10 POIs here, and that's being kind of generous. Some of these look like they'll just be random locations. And assuming that we're going to have duos competitive for the new season, for example, where are the other 40 teams gonna go? Like, it's just, this could be fun for pubs and ranked. I mean, if you've been bored of the current season, you know, running around and not really finding anyone, the Battle Royale numbers have been down. People have been preferring playing reload. And I think one of the main reasons for that is the pacing. You know, Battle Royale right now, you wait in queue, you get in, you drop, you get to your POI, you probably fight a few people to POI, and then you just rotate for a really long time. And half the lobby dies by the time you even get to second and third zone. You get in 1 or 2 fights, you look up, and there's 10 alive, and it's fourth zone. There's no stacked endgames. There's nothing like that. So why would you not just go play reload? So this might be an attempt from Fortnite to fix that. And I think for pubs and ranked, it'll definitely do that. And I think it's going to be really fun. It looks awesome, but I'm a bit worried for competitive. I don't know what tournaments are going to go on in the new season. We currently have no clue. Fortnite don't really tell us what tournaments are coming up ahead of time. So if there's a bunch of cash cups, they could be a little bit fun. Maybe we get some goofy like squad cash cups. It's only a 1 month long season. It's not FNCS, and we have a whole bunch of teams like Pete and Poyo not even playing tournaments together right now because people don't really care that much. I guess it might not be the end of the world. One of the other major complaints people have is the whole map is going to be cell shaded. So if you guys know how the anime skins look, where you have that really thick black line outside of it and the animated feel, that's what this whole map is going to be like, including all of the new skins. Now, it's not the first time we've had a map area that is cell shaded. If you think way back to chapter 1, we actually had the Borderlands POI that was cell shaded, and that looked pretty cool and people really liked it. So it might not be the end of the world, but it's definitely going to throw the vibes off a little bit. And if you hate cell shading, there's no way to escape it. Now, I do need to point out, though, we have Edmire, which is Edmire2K on Twitter, coming out, getting a lot of attention as an Epic Games partner, pointing out that this is not finished. They said, this is unfinished, by the way. Do not judge it by this. This is from an MA dev build, and someone is absolutely getting fired. I'll talk about how these got leaked in a little bit and my opinion on them, as a whole bunch of leakers are really upset this actually got leaked. But this is unfinished, which does look a bit like that. It doesn't look super crazy. Now, a lot of concerns you'll see in the comments by people like Veno is, even if it's unfinished, even if there's a few more locations on the map, it's just really small. The map is just tiny. Now, apparently, according to Edmire, this is the double the size of a reload map. To me, it doesn't really look it, but I guess you don't really know until you jump in and look at how big the actual POIs are. But if it's double the size of the reload map, that's not as bad as a reload map, but I just don't know how they're going to fit 100 players. We've had other people in the community, like Coach Boot, for example, pointing out that maybe it's not going to be 100 players. We could see potentially lobbies starting with like 50 players, like it's a half Battle Royale lobby. That would help a lot with queue times. If Fortnite's concerned at all with the fact that pubs and ranked are full of AI and it's really hard to fill lobbies, having less people makes that much easier. Needing 50 people at one time to load into a game makes things a lot better, which is why reload is so successful. But if we keep making Battle Royale closer and closer to reload, what's the point? Obviously, you don't have the reload feature, which is the main feature of reload, but one of the main factors was just the size and the pacing. So as much as I understand that reload's been very successful, I feel like there's a lot of people, myself included for the most part, who still like the Battle Royale experience. I still like caring about when I die, and a lot of that is due to the fact that the games take a little bit longer. These games are going to be insanely quick, not even just including competitive. So there's been no actual confirmation from any source that I can find that this will be less than 100 player lobbies, but it is worth pointing out that if they were going to ever try that, now would be the time. Now, there are some people in the comments skeptical about whether this was leaked and saying that no one's gonna get fired, but honestly, we have other people like Hypex, one of the most notable leakers in Fortnite, talking about how they hate when this happens, saying, not gonna lie, season images being leaked a whole week early actually sucks. Not everything has to be leaked. This basically kills the teaser images, post-event reveals, and downtime reveals. Now, I know you're thinking, Hypex, you're a leaker, that's a bit hypocritical. Don't worry, he addresses that, saying, before you, actually you did too, I only reposted post stuff like this if it's posted by another big page, which makes sense. As a leaker, once this stuff starts going viral and getting attention, people are going to then go at Hypex for not leaking it and talking about it and avoiding it. But once it's already leaked, it's out there. And honestly, I have to agree. As someone who makes a lot of content on leaks, especially in the past, downtimes have started to feel just a little bit stale. It just feels like there's no real point waiting for the update anymore because we already know everything. Now, this isn't just like game files of, oh, a weapon might be like this, or I've heard the map might be like this. It's straight up images of the map and the key art, which I haven't even talked about yet. So these are huge leaks, and I do think it diminishes a lot of the hype. And based on the amount of attention these posts are getting, there's not a lot of hype there right now, which we've already talked about in previous videos. Yes, viewership and player base is down right now. It's the end of a chapter. Usually right now, the last few chapters, it's felt like this, but then OG season picks things back up. A lot of people who are very nostalgic and love Fortnite but have moved away from it, they see OG and they want to come back and give it a try. I don't think the Simpsons mini season is going to have that same draw that OG season has, and I think that's why this isn't getting a lot of attention. But I don't think this was a deliberate attempt by Epic to leak these things ahead of time to build up hype. I just don't think that's the case. Now, let's talk about the actual key art, because this is looking kind of crazy and gives us a bunch of teasers for what's going on in the new season. Now, firstly, from left to right, you'll notice a shotgun. We have the Thunder Shotgun. And actually, I'm a big fan of this. If you guys don't remember, Thunder Shotgun was the main shotgun in the game during Chapter 4 Season 1, the Shockwave Hammer season. The main feature of this gun is it shoots 2 bullets at a time, not 1. So it does only have 4 shots in it with a pretty slow reload time, but really, really good range damage. And honestly, I like it. I really enjoyed the Hammer season. I feel like this is a good shotgun, especially when there's good mobility in the game because it does so much range damage. You'll notice we have an assault rifle now. This is a big one. It looks like the Scar, but it's actually not. This is the Striker assault rifle, and that's huge for a few reasons, because you can notice it has attachments on it, including a scope and a much longer barrel. Now, this could just be a mistake by Epic, or it could just be a coincidence, but if this is specifically the Striker assault rifle, not the regular Scar, that has huge implications, because that means we're going back to bullet travel time. If you guys don't know the difference, hit scan is what we currently have. When you shoot a target, the bullet hits instantly. It's like the bullet teleports. Doesn't matter whether they're 200 meters away or 10 meters away, the bullet travels instantly. Bullet travel time is what we used to have, again, during like Chapter 5 Season 1, the last time we had this assault rifle, where the bullets have to travel. You have to shoot ahead of the target if they're far away, because the bullet has to take time to get there, like a sniper rifle. And it's a change a lot of people have been asking for, especially in competitive, because it makes it harder to surge trade. Even though Fortnite has now changed Surge, so Surge trading won't be an issue anymore, but that's a big change. I personally prefer hit scan myself, but I know why a lot of people like bullet travel time. It rewards having really good aim. There's no bloom anymore. It is just all skill. If you hit ahead of the target, if you know how to lead your shots, you will hit a bunch of damage. It does have a lot of issues for controller players because it messes with aim assist. If you have to shoot ahead of the target, you can't have aim assist tracking on them for you, but at the same time, controller's pretty terrible right now and needs a buff to aim assist anyway, so that's not too big of a feature. But if that is the Striker assault rifle, not the regular Scar, some people are going to love or hate that. This does also mean we're probably going to be getting attachments if we get the Striker assault rifle, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I feel like they made the game a fair bit more complicated and kind of wasted a bit of time trying to find the right attachments to not really feel that much more impactful. But that's just my take personally. If attachments are back in, I'm not going to absolutely hate the season. Now, obviously, you can see a whole bunch of cosmetics here as well. We have like a new version of Peely, Homer, Marge, Bart. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Bart and Lisa being like mechs. I don't think those are going to be like vehicles or any crazy like mechs. I think it's more just a way to have Bart and Lisa skins where they're the same height as regular skins, but they don't look freakishly weird. Like if they just made Bart but had to stretch him out and make him a full-grown man to be the same size as Fortnite skins, it would look a little bit weird. So I don't think we've got like Bart mechs. I do think it is just going to be a way to make the skins work. We do potentially have some leaks of different items here in the key art as well. We have Marge carrying a vacuum cleaner. That's most likely a pickaxe. It could be like some kind of a mythic weapon. Homer's carrying the Homer hammer thing from when he tried to be an inventor. It's crazy how much it's taken me back to my childhood of watching all this. One thing that had me very, very concerned is the Kang and Kodos. I think that's how I say his name. The alien dudes up in the flying spaceship at the very top. I thought that might mean we are getting the spaceships back from the end of Chapter 2, which honestly, I absolutely hated, so I didn't want to see that. But there have been a whole bunch of leaks now about how they randomly spawn in around the battle bus, and it looks like it's just some kind of like sneak teaser thingy. It doesn't seem to actually have any impact on the gameplay, so I really, really hope we don't get the UFOs back, because I absolutely hated them as a vehicle. According to RedX, one of the features we're going to get is a new candy consumable that gives you health and grants you a gas bomb shield. Apparently, they're called Homer's Ass Taffy. Kind of insane, but this is coming from very credible leakers like Spush and Lulu, so I have absolutely no idea what Fortnite's cooking with this one. I was hoping we would get some kind of like pink donut item. Maybe we'd have Duff, but again, Duff is alcoholic because it's a beer, so I don't know whether Fortnite want to add that to the game for the most part, but getting fart candy wasn't really on my bingo list when it came to the Simpsons season, but we are definitely going to get some crazy new items. Fortnite has also confirmed we are getting a main storyline event that's going to take us into this season, so that should be happening on the 1st of November. We got to get the exact time being released over the next few days. If you load into Fortnite after this video, you might even see it in the game. I don't know when they're going to release it, but the new season should be releasing on November 1st, and it's going to last a month before we then go into Chapter 7 properly, so the new chapter should start on December 1st. As far as how this is all going to fit into the storyline, I actually saw a really good tweet from Reztro on Twitter, where they were talking about how, based on the key art, it seems the lore of the Simpsons season is that Homer has a 0-shard remote and he's causing chaos with it, which explains the donuts rifting in and falling from the sky. You can see Homer running and carrying it in his right hand. So it's a pretty good theory, and honestly, it would make the most sense. I think Fortnite's kind of given up on having the storyline be cohesive at this point, and honestly, I don't really care. I've said this a whole bunch in the past. When Donald Mustard was here and the game had a bunch of events that were all linked together and were really, really cool and made sense, it was awesome. But at this point, I just want good gameplay. If we just have to have some weird event for why we now have a Simpsons season, as long as the Simpsons season is fun and feels good, I honestly don't really care that much. So I like this theory, and it makes more sense than anything else anyway.